Your history does not have to define your destiny. Reggie Dabbs is a living testament to the truth he passionately proclaims. You can't change your past, but you can change your future. Reggie, come on in here, all the way from Florida. Remind me what city?
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, Florida. How are you this morning?
We are thrilled to have
good
you
to
here.
be
Have
with
you
you.
already been warmed up by all the football talk here today?
That's awesome. That's great.
That was one of the positive lights in your growing up.
It was good discipline. It was good character. And coaches were father figures that I didn't have growing up, so it was good.
You know, it's you read the opening chapter of your life. It's amazing that you emerged from that. You were told in second grade that your mom was not your mom, that your dad was not your dad. And you say you needed this truth.
Oh, yeah. For me, I needed the truth. I needed the truth. I get a lot of people asking, do I tell my child, do I don't? And I said, you and God can figure that out. But when I was a kid growing up, my foster care parents, everything is about them. Everything I am, everything I get to do, even down to playing saxophone. My foster care mom said she wanted a saxophone player in the house. And my foster care dad looked at me and said, you're playing the saxophone. And I said, yes, sir, because that's the way we were taught. But even everything goes to them. That's why when you open up the cover, you'll see their pictures right there. And it says, thank you. I'm just thanking them for who they are and everything that they do.
It's a little hard to see, but I'll tell you, you feel the warmth just
and
looking.
They're going to church, and that's the good
They're
part.
on their way to church.
On their way to church. Every Sunday we went to church. Now the cool thing is, when I was 8, and we went to school for parent-teacher conference. And so I had no idea, except when I walked out of the conference, all my friends were there with their parents. And I noticed that my friends' parents were young and my parents were kind of old. So I was taught, if you got a question, ask. So when we got in the car heading home, I just yelled to the front seat, hey, why y'all old? Which probably you shouldn't do, but when we got home, that's when my parents told me. My dad, he started by saying, there's a plan for your life and we're going to help you find it. My mom started by saying my favorite word. She said, baby. Whenever it was important, she would say that. When I was little, I thought she was magic, because every time she said baby, my darkest night had a light, my cloudiest day had sunshine. And when she said, I'm not your mom, you're in foster care, she just cried. She cried for 10 minutes. My dad held her, and she told me my story, that my mom slept with a man for $20 to get food for the kids that she already had.
She had her first baby at 14?
At 14 years old. And then she had twins. And then me, and she kept them, but she gave me away, but they walked me through it. They're just unbelievable people, and they both have passed away, and that's good, because their life makes me live even better.
And you do live strong and passionately,
absolutely,
and purposefully to help instill in other young people what you didn't have potentially, but were given. Given. And I love the fact that when you talk to young people, stretch it out. Stretch it out is a theme of your song. What are you saying to them?
Oh, well, actually, in public schools, I'm not able to talk about God or Jesus, but all my characteristics come from him. Jesus was speaking one day, and there was a man with a crippled hand. And that man with a crippled hand, Jesus called him out of the crowd and said, stand up. Then he looked at him and said, stretch out your hand. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm just straight. You know, if I had a crippled hand and a normal hand, and I'm in public eye, and they say, stretch out your hand, I'm showing my good one, because you want everybody to see what you have that's normal. You don't want anybody to see what you have that's crippled. But God didn't come, and he didn't send Jesus for us to give him what we know is normal. He came to fix the broken, the hurt, the pain, the sorrow. So I use that and just say, stretch out your pain, because you can make it. I use analogies that kids understand. Like right now, everybody's in the superheroes. Everybody likes the superhero movies. They're all coming out everywhere. You got your Batman, your Superman, your Spider-Man, your Iron Man, your Wolverine. I Googled it. Those are the 5 that people love the most. And then you look at it, Batman watched his mom and dad get robbed, shot, and killed. And he still became a hero. Yeah. Superman found out in the 9th grade, when he was in year 9, that he's from a planet that blew up and he's the only one of his kind. He's got all these powers he can't tell nobody. So he sits in the middle of a school and he can't tell nobody because he has a secret. Everybody got secrets, don't they?
Right. Right.
Then you got Spider-Man. I wish I could be Spider-Man, but I can't. I'm too fat, okay? Because if I could shoot a web, I'd still be running down the street going, I can't get off the ground. That wouldn't work out too well for me. But I found out Spider-Man looked at his auntie in one movie and said, everything I touch dies. But he fought through that pain and that sorrow to become the hero we know. Iron Man came an inch between losing his life. Then he realized he could change the world. And Wolverine, he can't remember nothing. But then again, there are a lot of people who have to lie for a living, and they start believing their lies so much they don't know what the truth is anymore. No matter who you are or where you're at, there's still hope if you are willing to stretch out your pain.
And you say there's buried treasure in the hearts of every generation.
Everybody.
But you've got to face and feel those issues. You had a friend, Ryan, that you couldn't help.
Well, we were the same age, and when he was like 4, they moved into the house next door, and we grew up together. It started, we were best friends, walked to school together, walked home together, in the same grade together, and as we got close, he was the only one I ever told my story because I knew his. His dad was an alcoholic and beat him and his mom. One Christmas, my dad gave us G.I. Joe walkie-talkies, and he had one, I had one. And now that I look back, I know exactly what my dad was doing. He was giving him hope that he can get on that walkie-talkie when Dad gets drunk, and my dad would go next door and stop it. In the 9th grade, my friend decided if you can't beat him, join him. So he started running with the older kids at school, trying drugs, doing drugs, and in the 9th grade, he died of an overdose. And that's sad, but you just can't give up. But those stones, even the sad ones, build who I am today.
When you were given this potentially devastating news that the parents who so loved you weren't your parents, what was your first response? How did you deal with it?
I'm okay. I'm all right. That's what we do. Even back when I was a kid, the response is deflect it. I'll be all right. I'm fine. It's okay. I'll be okay. Oh, no problem. It'll be all right. Then I went to the bathroom, turned on the faucet, and cried like a baby, all right? And all I wanted to do was get from the bathroom to my bedroom. And a lot of people, you know, everybody has something. And when I'm speaking, no matter kids or adults, I look at them and say, take my quiz. You ever sit up at night and watch TV, just flicking through the channel, ain't nothing on, and you can't go to sleep, you can't get quiet, because when it's quiet, you remember stuff you're trying to forget. Then you start falling asleep, so you turn off the TV, go in your bedroom, and lay down, and you're wide awake again. So you grab your headphones and listen to the same song over and over and over again. All these things we do to try to hide the pain, when really we just need to go to someone. What happened that night was when I walked out of the bathroom trying to get to my bedroom so I can cry some more, my dad was at the bathroom door. He was on his knees. He's 6'6", 265-pound man. He put his hand on my chest and he looked at me and he said, listen to me. He says, I cannot give you my blood, but if you let me, I'll give you my heart. And years later, I was in California speaking, and I was told that he was dying. I flew back to Tennessee, and I walked in his hospital room. He took his hand, patted me on the chest, and said, I couldn't give you my blood, but boy, did you take my heart. And
so it was their love and the love of God through them
that
held you through that earthquake in your heart.
Absolutely. And for parents, pray for your children. Let them hear you praying for them. I think that's the key. When I was little, they went from the oldest to the youngest child. Now, the age was huge. My brother older than me is 7 years older than me. And, you know, and he's the one I grew up with because they had 5 boys, 2 girls. And I remember asking, why are you raising me? Why are you raising me? And my foster care mom said, I knew your mom. She gave you to me. And then I was 13 when she said, I was your mom's favorite teacher at school. And that just takes it all full circle. You know, I'm like, that's just amazing that I would speak in public schools, that I would work mainly with young people, though I'm finding out adults need to hear this as well. Absolutely. Adults need to hear this story.
They've never stretched it out, Reggie,
they just need help.
They need someone to encourage them, and they need to do it.
There's always hope.
Do you know how your birth mom is today?
You know, when my foster care mom passed away, every Sunday morning I get a phone call. And we're working through that right now. I talk to her. She calls me every Sunday morning. In the book, I didn't mention her because that's probably the later time. I'm going to let that relationship culture and it's amazing how God just brings things full circle. I'm still at the point to where I kind of asked her about my father, and she said, no, you don't want to know. And so I'm like, I can live with that. I've gone this far. But you know, it's a journey, and it's not a journey that you do alone. It's a journey where people will come alongside you and help you get through hard times.
Well, you're daddy to a lot of young people all over the globe. Then some of them call you daddy. But you've got to see this picture. This is just beautiful. Now, Michelle is your wife.
Yes.
Dominic, your son.
Yes.
He's 17
He's
today.
17 now, but that was my wife's favorite picture. She
Dude,
said, I want that one in the book.
I
So.
love this picture. Becoming a dad seemed to galvanize something for you, and it's impacting what you're doing with your life today.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, is a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, they all say that you are effect of your past. You're an effect of where you come from. So if you're from a broken home, you'll have a broken home. If you're from a messed up relationship, you'll be in a part of a messed up relationship. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because, see, like I said, and you said it earlier, you know, your history is your history. Your past is your history. Your future is your destiny. Don't let your past or your history dictate what you can do and what you will be. Let Jesus dictate that. Let him be the one that leads you there. And it's true. When I was 10 years old, I used to ride the city bus to school. I liked it. One day I ran into a man, and when I ran into him, I said, "Excuse me, sir." He patted me on the head and said, "Excuse me, son," moved me out of the way and started walking. Now I'm 10. First thing I noticed was his skin color. I'm not the darkest brother. I'm not the lightest brother. I call it Carmelo, all right? But what happened was, when I saw his skin, and I went, "Ooh, he's the same color as me." Then I went, "Ooh, he called me son." Then I went, "Ooh, he my daddy." And at 10, what I did next was really sad. I totally forgot about school, and I followed the black guy. He turned left, I turned left. He turned right, I turned right. He walked into a building that had security in front of it, so I couldn't go in. So I'm standing on the street corner, and this one thought went through my mind. All I thought was this: nobody cares. And at 10 years old, I'll never forget it. It's something inside me died. I put my hands in my pocket. I couldn't move. I was frozen. I stared at the ground, and I just cried. I could feel the breeze of people walking by me, but nobody stopped, which is fine today. I'm glad nobody stopped then, because nobody stopped then, I get to stop for you. I get to stop here on 100 Huntley Street. I get to come alongside Brian and say what he's doing for these kids is unbelievable.
Isn't it great that you'd be on here together today?
And you know, people think they did it on purpose, but God has a plan. He really does.
And I think this book is geared for young people, because you give opportunity at the end of every chapter for them to respond, whether by themselves or with group reflection.
And we did that.
Get to that heart, get to those feelings.
Yeah, we did that because a majority of the kids I work with are unsaved. They don't even know I'm a Christian because they saw me in public school setting, which is fine. But it's the character that comes through, you know, and it's that character that can help kids. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm a little bitter with Canada, though.
What do we do?
I just got to tell you, it's hard to come across the border every now and then and be with you because of the Olympics last year.
Oh, okay.
All we wanted was one gold medal. And would you people let us win one?
Sorry.
No. See, that's just it. See, and the way you said sorry, it just hurts my heart. But I'll be okay. I'll get over it.
You see the authenticity in my eyes here?
I know. You liked that, didn't you?
You explore 10 aspects of life in the present that will renovate the future. It's a journey that young people can take. The book is available everywhere. Online, anywhere. And you know, we just heard, we have less than a minute here, but we just heard that 1 in 4 families in the U.S. single parent families. Yes. We need the encouragement. We need the Reggies who are going to get up and say to those kids, "You're going to be a history maker." That's why it's cool that kids who are malnourished in Canada aren't going to the state for help, but the Christians are helping them. Why not? It's all good. It's all good. Thank you. Thank you for the music. You're welcome. Thank you for the message. Thank you for all that you're doing. It's good to be with you. God bless you, Reggie. Thank you.